Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed.
All right, next we have corporate bills of Stan Brown.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Electronic payment approval for July the 31st, 2023. Corporate payments, $154,489.42. Water fund, $368,898.74. Federal forfeiture, $11. Sewer funds, $1,706.36. American Rescue Plan, $3,880.44. Melanie Fitness Center, $334.81 for a total.
Now he doing all right, because we only talking about thousands.
Corporate payment of $529,520.77.
Is there a motion?
Yeah.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a motion and a second? Any discussion?
May I be recognized?
Go ahead.
Now,
I have some questions.
I want to draw your attention to this conversation. Stan was just for shits and giggles at this point. He's just for entertainment purposes. But I am keeping track of these numbers in my head. I am keeping track of the fact that every month the corporate payments are $1 million more than they were last month. But the financials are showing a deficit. Now, in this very next conversation, Trustee Kiana Belcher, Trustee Kiana Keep the Receipts Belcher, is going to open up a discussion about the lease payments on some of the vehicles.
In reference to the corporate bills, the electronic corporate bills, because normally some of these vendors that's on our electronic payment, which have been paid with credit cards, would be on our AP warrant list. Is there a reason why some of them are preference to go electronically versus the AP warrant list?
I would know. Which ones are you speaking of?
DJ Ezra Israel. He had a credit card payment for $2,900 and a credit card payment for $1,300. But normally he's on the AP warrant list. And then even if you look at his invoice say payment methods, check, money, or whatever, cashier. So is it a reason why he's being paid with a credit card versus?
It could have been he needed the money to buy whatever he needed to purchase at the time, whether it was lease something. Could have been a number of reasons why people ask for payment via electronic.
Now, my next question would have been, can we show record that that vendor requested payment electronically via the manual check? But, that would have been my question. But I'm definitely not saying Trustee Kiana Belcher did anything wrong here. But I think that question would have been helpful.
Okay. All right. And then my other question is, with all these lease payments, why are the lease payments electronic payments versus AP warrant list payments?
Well, lease payments have always been electronic as it relates to making sure they have their payment. It's on automatic, so that way we never miss the payment. So
okay.
If the lease is something that the village has, we always make sure we pay our bill.
All right. So since you're answering the question about one of these lease.
She said, since you answering the questions, because, sometimes she won't answer and sometimes she act like she don't know. But today you the one answering the questions, right? You know everything about the financials right now. Okay, cool. Let's go.
And I'm doing this just in reference to I've been questioning it. We had a meeting, myself and Trustee Stan Brown with Tangenique. I asked for a copy of the leases because September 2021, we approved for Enterprise for the police cars to get. Then we start getting all these other vehicles, and it was just, I want to say, erroneous to me, the fact that we have purchased vehicles of $81,000 and the interest on it $29,000. Total price is $110,000 for just one of these vehicles.
Now, mind you, if you did that math, just the rough math, we're talking about 25% interest on one vehicle. That is fucking crazy. That is fucking ridiculous. I don't know of anyone who's leasing a vehicle at 25% interest and you don't even own it. Like, what kind of bad credit and dumbass decision making are you participating in where you have a 25% interest rate on, because, I mean, 20 is 25% of 80. We just did that math real quick in our head. The lease amount is $80,000. The interest is $20,000. That's 25%. I did it for you, Tiffany Henyard.
We have 4 or 5 of these vehicles at this amount, and then when it gets
4 or 5 vehicles where $100,000 is being paid out annually just in interest. $125,000. That's a few salaries. That's a few actual programs like financial literacy, political education, how to write a business plan. Those are, STEM programs. That's $125 where you could have set up a week-long technology summer camp. And that's just interest to a bank. And those weren't even being paid. But let's see if Tiffany Henyard catches the interest amount, does the math in her head, and even has a problem with it.
the bottom.
You can tell people who aren't used to dealing with money and making financial decisions or even understanding the power of negotiation. Of course, a car dealer is going to present you with some dumb shit like this. You don't have to pay it. Oh, my God.
It says it's signed off by you and Tanjanique.
For a lease?
For a
I'm okay
lease.
with leasing any vehicle here in the village of Dock. We have increased.
She don't even understand the question that was just asked to her. The question wasn't asked, are you okay with it? Obviously you are, bitch. You signed on it, stupid hoe. The question is, are you understanding what you agreed to, dumb bitch? Mayor, governor of the city.
Public Works. We have increased the fire department, the police department, so everyone needs vehicle. Right now, you guys have them.
And please stop depending on people to represent you who say police. The word is police. If a person says that word that way, it tells you everything.
Driving around with no air, no heat, cars did not work, cars did not start. Some of them use their personal vehicles. So I am fine with a lease.
I'm not
Any other questions?
disputing that. I have a
Right,
question.
you just asked and then you said because I signed off on it. I am okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Even with the interest?
I'm okay with the lease that we have because
All
we
right.
need it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
For the record, even with the interest, now we just did the math in our head and saw that this was a 25% interest rate. You should not be signing off on a lease with a 25% interest rate. That is Googleable common sense. What is a fair interest rate for a lease? Maybe 1 or 2%, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 6. Maybe 0% for a municipality with great credit. That's out there. And they probably could have negotiated for it, but they don't know how. These aren't people that do this in their own personal lives. These aren't people that walk into car dealerships and negotiate car deals for themselves. These are people who go into car dealerships and sign on a dotted line and then hope they can pay for it. These aren't people who know how to read an invoice for a vehicle and know what was paid and what the buyback is, the holdback. These aren't people who are aware of dealer-bought interest and that the dealership can stack interest on top of what the bank already charged just to make more money. These aren't people that know how to negotiate the price of an extended warranty to make it make sense. These aren't people that understand how to buy a vehicle for themselves. For themselves. Tiffany Henyard didn't have a vehicle when she became mayor. These aren't people who understand how to provide these things for themselves in a fiduciarily responsible way where they're not paying out a whole bunch of money just because they want something. You don't always have to pay what the dealer says. I had a dealer tell me, maybe I'm looking at the wrong vehicle. No, bitch, maybe you looking at the wrong vehicle. And I bought that vehicle for what I said I was going to pay for it for. Not a dime more. Not a penny fucking more. Now, how you going to run a city and you don't even know how to buy a car?
All right. Any more questions? All right. Please call the roll.
Trustee Norwood. Aye. Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
No.
See, some people are so dumb that you got to trap them and they lie. They got some dumbass roaches in China. Them roaches will come out, run away, and then come back out. All you got to do is wait for them. This is a ridiculous conversation to have in public. And the fact that the people in the room aren't gasping because of the fucking ridiculousness that was just displayed in front of them is a testament to the reason why this woman sits in a lime green suit in a seat with a name tag that labels her as the mayor of this village.
Okay, so now you don't want them to ride around. Yeah. All right.
You got fucking Tyrone Biggums running somebody's town. I'm going to let them go.
Sam Brown. Trustee Sam Brown. Stay out of the floor for the next one.
Sure do. Come on,
The warrant registered for September the 5th, 2023. Corporate payments, $2,030,236.84. Gross payroll for
I swear, when Stan started reading these bills, the corporate payments were like $600,000. I'm telling you. When he started reading these numbers, and that's why I say they've gotten worse. When he started reading these numbers, they were not even in the millions. Honey.
1123, 452,668,000.
What?
86 cents.
That nigga said 452,668,082 cents. Oh no, I'm not gonna let that go. There was a lot I didn't even point out in the last video. I'm not going to let that shit go. Because this is a real problem in September 5th of 2023 when we see the same shit happening in March of 2024. I'm not letting that go.
Corporate payments, $2,030,236.84. Gross payroll for 8/11/23, $452,668,086.
That's what he said.
Gross payroll.
He didn't even catch it. I mean, we read commas as millions. We read commas as billions. We read commas as thousands. I'm sure that wasn't 458,658 point. No. Nigga, you can't read numbers. I really think he should be at home practicing how to read different. I mean, when I was preparing myself to receive what I was manifesting, I started practicing how to read the numbers, the bigger numbers, out loud, without being nervous, without being afraid, without trembling inside my heart. I had to practice becoming comfortable with those bigger numbers so that I would even be able to open my heart to receive them. So that I wouldn't have limiting beliefs about them. So that I would be able to walk in them comfortably and not feel like I was supposed to be grateful because somebody owed me something. No, these are my numbers. Do you understand? I'm talking about limiting beliefs and actualization and a person being over a finance committee who can't even read the numbers.
August 25th, 2023. $530,078.58. Melanie Fitness Center, $2,057.76. Total corporate payments, $3,015,042.04.
All right, is there a motion?
And you're not going to tell me that look on his face right now is, God damn, they spent a lot of money. Because those numbers at that point, I don't think I've ever heard a 3 in front of the million. Last month, it was 2. Y'all, he's noticing these numbers getting higher and higher. Why isn't he questioning anything? He's the chair of the finance committee. And if you notice, if you go back and watch these videos, and they are in the breakdown playlist, as well as on the Village of Dolton website, because legally, while she can turn off the comments, she has to keep these videos going. Okay? It would look so crazy right now if she didn't record these videos. So, these lives have to be posted. Okay? And if you go back and look over time, you will see these numbers have gotten high. When I said these started out as a report he was reading in the hundreds of thousands, and then it slowly went to million, and then last month it was 2, and now it's 3, and this is the month she finally admits there's a deficit, but ooh, watch who she points the finger at. Now, this is the very same Stan Brown who's come in my comments and said, when you point fingers at somebody else, you got 3 pointing back at yourself. Oh, nigga. But when she does this blame shifting thing, I need to hear him come on the mic and say it, but I never do. Y'all, this is crazy.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been